Hi everyone. So I wanted to touch base with you guys about a graphing calculator option that we can start kind of playing around with some of our assignments. So I'm going to be sending out week 2, day 3 domain and range from equations. So I wanted to go ahead and show you how we could use the online graphing calculator to help with this assignment. So if you look here on the assignment, I have it pulled up on this side of the screen. It says that a couple of resources for calculators could be the Geogebra graphing calculator. So all you have to do is type into Google Geogebra graphing calculator. And then it's that first one that should pop up, graphing calculator. So when I click on it, this is the graphing calculator from Geogebra. Okay, so let's look at a couple of the examples and then we'll kind of talk you through some extra stuff that you could do here. So our first equation is y equals 3x plus 5. So in the graphing calculator right here, where that little line is blinking, that's where we're going to type in our equations. So I'm going to type in, using that little keypad, y equals 3x plus 5. And if you notice on the calculator screen, you'll see the graph starting to form. So when I hit enter, then I know for sure the graph is there and it's set. Okay. So what I'm trying to find for problem 1 is the domain and range. And it tells me what the domain is. It says that all the x values are from 0 to 4. So really I need to look at the table. So GeoGebra has a table. So here's the table right here. If I click it, it's empty. So there's nothing showing up. So I need to pull up the table using the equation. So the way to do that is I'm going to hit the 3 little buttons right here, and where it says table of values, I'm going to click that. And then this little menu pops up. So this menu is basically going to tell us where we have to start our table, where we would like to end our table, and if we wanted to see decimals or not. So our table starts when x is 0, so I'm going to go ahead and type in 0. And our table ends at 4, so I'm going to say the end value for x is going to be 4. I'll leave step as 1 because if not, I'm going to have a whole bunch of decimals. So I'm going to hit OK. And then it goes straight to the table, and then it tells me what my table is. So when x is 0, y is 5. When x is 1, y is 8, and so on. And then I can see that is correct by matching it with the example that's already filled out for you guys. So then when I go here for the range, because this is what I was actually trying to find, anything highlighted in green is what you're trying to find. So we're trying to find all of the ranges, so that would be all of the y values from the graphing calculator. Okay, and then I would just basically type them into the table, and again, type them in to the green highlighted section for range. Okay, so now let's look at example 2. So this problem right here is an exponential problem. So this first one was linear. This is exponential. So our equation is f of x equals 3 times 2 to the power of x. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my graphing calculator. I'm just going to go ahead and get a new page. So I hit the menu, new. I don't want to save. And then it just brings me a fresh screen. So here I can start typing in that second problem. So y equals 3 times 2 with the parentheses. And then to get the exponent, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this button right under the y, and it's going to automatically pull up the exponent right here. And our exponent is going to be x. And you can see the graph has already changed. So once I hit enter, okay, then I can see my graph here. And notice that I clicked on the graphing screen and I can kind of drag it around. Okay, I can also zoom out. I could zoom in and go back and forth. So again, I need to see the table of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the three dots again, table of values. Now this time I'm actually supposed to find my domains. I'm supposed to find the x values. I do know some of the y values, which are 6, 12, 24, and 48. So I'm just going to kind of plug in like different numbers here. And I'm just going to say, let's start this table at 0. So 0. And let me try just ending it at like 6 or something. Again, I'm going to leave step 1 here and hit OK. And it goes straight to my table. So then I can kind of start matching. Well, if I know the y is 6, then I go look for when y is 6 and the matching value of x is 1. So then I would type that into my table here. So then the next y value is 12. Well, when y is 12, x is 2. So I can type that one in. And then I would just kind of go back and forth trying to find which matching y values match for the x values. And so since this time I'm looking for domain, right here in the highlighted green, I would go ahead and list out all the domain numbers that I found from my table. Okay. So let's kind of talk through more on the graphing calculator part. So to go back to the calculator from the table, I just hit the calculator again. Okay. There's a couple of features that I can look at here. So I could obviously click on the graph screen and start moving it around. Again, zoom in and out. If I need to start typing stuff in again, I can hit the keyboard and then start typing stuff in. Okay. Another feature would be, let's say I had two equations that I needed to compare. So I'm going to go back and hit new. Don't save. And let's say I have two linear equations that I'm trying to find an intersection for. So let's say one equation is y equals 2x plus 4. So you see 2x plus 4 already formed there. When I hit enter, it gets me to a new line to type in. And let's say the second equation is y equals 3x. Let's go with minus 4 or something. Okay. When I hit enter, I see now both lines on the graph, and I don't really see an intersection. So it's kind of like with your calculator, you want to zoom out of the calculator. So I could zoom out, or I could even just move along the graph and I can find that intersection. And then I can zoom back in. If I click on the point, it actually tells me what that point is, and it tells me that they intersect at 820. So a lot of this with the GeoGebra graph, you can kind of just play around with to kind of learn some of the features yourself, or you can look this video again to see what other things that you can also do. If you have any questions about using the GeoGebra calculator, please feel free to message me with any questions or concerns you might have. Bye guys.